Hey everybody, the History Guy here, and welcome to my top 5 most anticipated strategy games of 2019. And the first game we're going to look at today is We the Revolution. Now this is a unique game with a singular art style set in the blood-soaked and paranoid world of the French Revolution, where often you could not tell a friend from an enemy. As a judge of the Revolutionary Tribunal, you have to trudge through this setting, passing sentences, playing a dangerous political game, and doing everything in your power not to be guillotined as an enemy of the revolution. At the end of the day, you will also confront your decisions with your family, and very often they will see it differently. In We the Revolution, you get to shape history and decide who will live and who will die. You get to preside over dozens of unique and morally ambiguous court cases, confront the judgments that you make with your family. Your loved ones may often disagree with the decisions that you make. You get to run your own courtroom, question witnesses, analyze clues and evidence, read reports and pass sentences, make friends and enemies of different rival factions that are all vying for power, make them your friends or make them disappear. Engage in a mix of genres blending both case building with intrigue crafting and turn-based tactics. We the Revolution is a symbolic story loosely based on the historical events from the time of the Great French Revolution. Experience life in a time of revolutionary upheaval. Now I know this next one a lot of us are looking forward to. It's Anno 1800. Welcome to the dawn of the industrial age. The path you choose will define your world. Are you an innovator or an exploiter, a conqueror or a liberator? How the world remembers your name is up to you. In Anno 1800, players will take charge of their own fortune as they navigate the rapidly evolving technological landscape and malicious political arena of the 19th century in their quest to build an empire that will reach from the smog-filled cities of Europe to the teeming jungles of South America. Combining beloved features with innovative gameplay, Anno 1800 is the beginning of a new era for the Anno franchise as players leave their mark on a crucial moment in human history. Next up is Imperator Rome, which is coming out in late April of this year. Alexander, Hannibal, Caesar. These great men and dozens like them shaped the destiny of a continent. Mighty kings, clever generals, and would-be gods made their mark on the ancient Mediterranean. Around this sea, close-knit nations tested their mettle and virtue against one another in fierce combat, their cultural and political legacy now inseparable from what we understand as Western civilization. But nothing was guaranteed. Can you change the course of history in Imperator Rome? It's the newest grand strategy title from Paradox Development Studio, set in the centuries from Alexander's successor empires in the east to the foundation of the Roman Empire further west. Imperator Rome invites you to relive the pageantry and challenges of empire building in the classical era. Manage your population, keep an eye out for treachery, and keep faith with your gods. That's Imperator Rome. Well, a series that needs no introduction to strategy gamers is the Total War series, and this year comes the latest in their great line of titles, Total War 3 Kingdoms. China in 190 CE, a new era of legendary conquest. This beautiful but fractured land calls out for a new emperor and a new way of life. Unite China under your rule, forge the next great dynasty, build a legacy that will last through the ages. Choose from a cast of 12 legendary warlords and conquer the realm. Recruit heroic characters to aid your cause and dominate your enemies on military, technological, political, and economic fronts. Will you build powerful friendships, form brotherly alliances, and earn the respect of your many foes? Or would you rather commit acts of treachery, inflict heart-wrenching betrayals, and become the master of a grand political intrigue? Your legend is yet to be written. But one thing is certain, glorious conquest awaits. And finally, probably the game I am looking forward to the most. It doesn't have a specific release date yet, but only sometime in late 2019. It's Grand Tactician, The Civil War. Grand Tactician is a real-time strategy game combining a strategic campaign with tactical battle gameplay. It says run your nation, muster, manage, and support great armies, manage to maneuver them and to defeat the enemy. Once the opposing armies meet, command your troops to victory in battles fought on historic battlefields. Some of the features include choosing your side with a real-time campaign spanning from the beginning to the end of the war with historical objectives for both sides. You can change history. What if European superpowers intervened to end the war? Or what if Lincoln lost the presidential election of 1864? Lay siege, raid and blockade the enemy on land or sea, or use blockade runners to keep the lifelines to Europe open. From Fort Sumter to Appomattox, watch closely the morale of your citizens and troops. As the war drags on, fervor turns to fatigue. The treasury threatens to run dry, and measures like drafting will cause unrest. Build and manage the flow of supplies to your armies. Utilize and expand railroad lines to supply and move armies for the first time in history. Fight battles lasting multiple days on historic battlefields. Use engineers to build pontoons and dig trenches. See reinforcements change the tide, and commit your reserves to defeat the enemy. Manage hundreds of historical commanders with personal attributes and specialization. Famous commanders inspire soldiers and citizens alike, and loss of reputation can be irreparable. Huge armies of infantry, cavalry, and artillery with realistic command structures and historical orders of battle. An amazing Civil War reenactment and combat footage from Lionheart Filmworks, and an original soundtrack of old-time music and drum and fife band. This one looks beautiful. I am excited about everything in this one. I really hope out of all the battles and all the games that I've just showed you that this one does not disappoint. That's Grand Tactician, the Civil War. Well, thanks for sticking around with me for those top 5 anticipated strategy games of 2019. It's hardly an exhaustive list, and I really just scratched the surface of what those games have to offer, so I encourage you to check out the links in the description below that will take you to the Steam page for each and every one of those games, so you can read much more about it for yourselves, or you could just browse through YouTube and find some of the gameplay and trailers for those games. Every one of those I think I'll probably play and do a preview of at some point. So stick around and subscribe to this channel. Hit that little bell if you haven't already, and you'll be notified each and every time I upload something new. Thanks for watching, guys.